Alright, so welcome back to Into the Infinityverse, where I talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff for the Infinityverse, the shared fanfiction universe that my friend Jason Voorhees 2011 and I write together. And today I'm going to be doing a video that I've kind of done before, but I figured, I've got new subscribers and we've got new ships to talk about, so yeah. Today we're going to be talking about Into the Infinityverse, about shipping. So there are some ships in the Infinityverse, so... let's talk about the ones that are kind of already that have already been canonized and we have no intention of breaking up. So the main ones are, of course, like Usagi and Tuxedo Mask. You know, Mamoru. We're not breaking those two up because it's literally a relation. That's literally what the whole fucking anime's based on. You know, we're not gonna break up a whole thing the anime was based upon, really. We also have Sailor Uranus and Neptune. We're not going to break them up because they are oodles of fun, and they both would die for each other, literally. Not going to break up a few others like Pen and Sashi. We're not going to break those two up. Ladybug and Cat Noir. Not going to get rid of them. So relax. Not getting rid of them. So yeah. There are some other major relationships in there that we're not going to break up because we were like, yeah, why would we split them up? There are some that we are kind of splitting up because we got reasons. The first and foremost, and some of you guys already knew this was coming, and some of you guys remember the previous video, was one of the major relationships that we're going to axe is Ulric and Yumi. Reason being, it's so goddamn toxic. It is so... I've talked about this before on this channel where... You know, Ulric and Yumi, everyone says, like, oh, they're so cute. And I'm like, really? Are they? And I'm not trying to discredit the character of Yumi or whatever, but, like, they're really so bad for each other. Like, if you go back and watch Code Lyoko, I'm like, this is not a relationship. This is literally a domestic dispute waiting to happen. So, Ulric and Yumi are not going to be together. Yumi is... Well, I'll get to Yumi in a moment. Ulric is actually going to end up with somebody also from the show. And you can probably guess which woman that's going to be. Give you a hint. She puts up with Ulric's shit better than Yumi could. Yeah. That person. As for Yumi, Yumi is going to be also dating someone within the Code Lyoko series, but it's not going to be William. So you're probably thinking, well, if it's not William, then who's it going to be? Give you another hint. His blonde hair is shaped like an ice cream cone. Mm-hmm. Now, you may be thinking, why of all people Odd is going to be with Yumi? Why should Odd be with Yumi? Well, it's not officially... They're not officially together, first off. It's going to be more like them playing, or, playing with each other's, excuse me, that was the wrong term. They're going to be trying to test, feel each other out, because in our continuity of the Infinityverse, Odd is a nymphomaniac. He is constantly obsessed with sex. It's like a condition for him. Sorry, that was a text. He is... very, he's constantly trying to sleep with everyone and has a, it's not impeding him, but, like, at the same time, he's known on the Infinity League base that, yeah, he's a bit of a horn dog, and he can't help himself. And Yumi, on the other hand, Yumi's kind of withdrawn because she's like, even she admits, I got jealous over Ulric just talking to another person. What am I going to do if I come home and you trying to, what do I do if I come home and you're trying to have sex with Queen Bee? What am I supposed to do with that, So it's them trying to navigate a relationship or or at least entertaining the possibility of being in a relationship. Because Yumi's not ready and Odd is also not ready, so they're just trying to feel each other out and, can they stay friends? That whole spiel. As for Ulric as to why he's going with... It's Sissy. It's Sissy. Why Sissy? Because Sissy Delmas puts up with Ulric's shit way better. Now, I'm not trying to say Sissy is an angel, because we all know she ain't. We all know that she's not in any way, shape, or form an angel. So, in that regard, Ulric isn't either. Keep that in mind, that Ulric is no angel in any sense, shape, or form. But on the other hand, Ulric was, whenever Ulric was down in the dumps, sometimes caused by his own friends, Sissy was right there to pick him back up. Like, Sissy was right there to be there for him. Like, she was the first one to try and cheer him up, try to be the person to help him out of the darkness with him. And, yeah, and again, this is also going to be a story of us talking about, and keep in mind, these are not going to be main focus, but one of the, side things is just, Ulric looking back and being like, I'm a shitty person. Maybe I shouldn't be so shitty to the one person who really, really cared about me and, was actually in love with me. So, it'll be better explained, but I'm just kind of giving you the gist of why Sissy and Ulric are going to be together. Same with Odd and Yumi. Jeremy and Eileen are still going to be together. Relax, it's going to be fine. Relax, they're fine. As for other ships, now this was the big one, and some people are like, really? You're doing that? Yeah, we're doing this. Danny and Sam are no longer together. I'm just going to pause for a second to give everyone a moment to try to come down from the shock. Yeah. Danny Phantom and Sam Manson are no longer together in the Infinityverse continuity. And we didn't one more day it or whatever. It was a mutual breakup because in our continuity, Sam is the new champion of the green. She's kind of like our Swamp Thing. And Sam has realized that this is bigger than us. This is bigger than me. Our relationship is... And she doesn't blame Danny. Keep that in mind that she never, when Danny became more busy leading, because in our continuity, he's one of the 7 leaders of the Infinity League, and his job was getting in the way of their relationship, but Sam knew, yeah, our relationship is nothing compared to you trying to protect the world. And now I'm going to have to protect a version of a part of the world too. So... yeah, it's better we just, it's better we split up rather than try to hold this together because we both knew that it wasn't going to last. So, Sam and Danny are no longer together. Again, it was a mutual breakup, and Sam is no longer is going to be no longer like, oh, she's Danny's girlfriend. It's no longer like that. It's more like, oh, Sam, she is a powerhouse plant-based superhero. So Sam's going to be able to do her own stuff without being like, oh, she's, she's like the lover of Danny Phantom, and that's all we know, and being a goth, that's it. In here, no, she's actually going to have her own character. Whereas Danny's going to not try to let his breakup with Sam get the better of him, even though he's kind of hiding it, and Danny is going to eventually find someone new. Not going to say who. I am not going to say who, but I will say she is very close to home. But not from Danny Phantom. She's someone within the Infinity League. It's someone in the Infinity League that's going to be dating Danny, but that's not going to happen for a little while. In fact, you're not going to see it for a while. Danny's just going to be single because there's, in our continuity right now, there's a giant there's the Phoenix coming to Earth, so he's kind of like, I don't have time for a relationship, I gotta go lead my superhero friends to go fight a giant cosmic flying fucking death bird. So, that's where Danny is. Kim and Ron are still together as well, but Kim has become, she's putting, like Danny, she's also a leader, but her stress has really been piling on, and she's becoming more, withdrawn and more, militaristic, and Ron's trying to be, the light for her. But we'll see how that turns out. I'm not going to say anything on that. As for let's talk about some other relationships within the Infinityverse. In the Infinityverse, there are some crossover ships in here. Let's talk about the major one. This was the first one to come out, and that was, and this was the big one, and this was the one we started out with, was Randy Cunningham from Randy Cunningham 9th Grade Ninja, and Alia from Ladybug. So, yeah, I've talked about this crossover ship before, and in the Infinityverse, that is the relationship going on, that's the big crossover relationship, and they're both in a relationship, but they don't know each other's identity, because Alia has been like, look, when I broke up with Nino, we broke up because it got too real for us to be both superheroes and a relationship, so she's trying to cover, I don't want to know your identity, because if you do get hurt, I am going to basically be a mess. We're both going to be an emotional mess. If one of us gets seriously hurt, then it's just going to complicate the relationship. So let's just keep the masks on. And Randy's kind of like, no, I want to be more. And trust me, they will be more. If anything, Randy and Alia are pretty much like the Green Arrow and Black Canary of the Infinity Verse. That's how we pretty much, Jason and I, put their relationship, where it was based off of it was more or less just Black Canary and Green Arrow. So if you want to like have a comparison, there you go. As for another crossover ship, we've got Shizao, who is with Heidi from Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja. So Shizao in here, Shizao and Heidi's relationship is kind of like Superman and Lois Lane. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, Shizao's a guy, right? But does she know that she's a he? And why is Heidi and Shizao a thing in the first place? Well, in our continuity, Heidi is bisexual. Reason being is because, well, Heidi never really had much of a character in Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja, so it was kind of easy to be like, oh, well, she's bi. And we did a whole I actually wrote the spotlight for Heidi's whole story of her meeting Shizao and getting into a relationship with her. But in the story, basically, Heidi is bisexual, but here's the thing. She doesn't know that Shizao's a dude. And you may be thinking, well, it's not a problem. You just said she was bisexual, so she's just getting 2 in 1. That's not the point. The point is, Shizao is lying to her because she's in love. Heidi thinks she's in love with Shizao, who she thinks is a woman and not a dude. So Shizao is very much like, if I tell her the truth, she's going to flip her shit because I straight up lied to her. I kept lying to her that I'm not a woman. It doesn't matter that she's bi. She's going to be more mad at the fact that I'm lying straight to her fucking face. So there's the big one. That's the big thing, is that Shizao and Heidi are kind of on the rocks because what had happened was Shizao's evil clone, kidnapped Heidi and revealed, hey, I'm a clone, and guess what? Your girlfriend's actually your boyfriend. Doodles. So Heidi now knows that, but she doesn't know how to confront her boyfriend girlfriend about that. So they're kind of on the rocks right now. As for some other crossover ships, we have got another one, and it's going to be showing up very soon, so I'll spoil it. Kylie Griffin from Extreme Ghostbusters, who in our continuity is the current Ghostbusters, she is in a relationship with Brooklyn from Gargoyles. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, that's what? A human and a gargoyle? To which I point at Goliath and Eliza Maza. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, hey, it's not like they've hinted at humans and gargoyles wanting to bang. Look at Goliath and Eliza. So, and Kylie's all about the occult and all that, and Brooklyn is literally the occult with wings. So, yeah. You've also got Tom, who is not going to, as we all know, doesn't get with Star, and we are keeping Starco. Although we are going to address some problems with that relationship in the fanfiction universe that the show failed to address. But Tom is actually going to be with someone from Starverse. You already know which one it is. I don't even need to say which girl from Starverse he's going to be with. You already know which one. But yeah. Also, I know it's actually kind of funny bringing up Starverses. When I'm still writing Mystic Wars, I was basically like, I wanted to stress because I knew some people were going to try to ship Jana with Merrick. It's because Jana is going to be Merrick's apprentice. Because in our continuity, Merrick has become the Sorcerer Supreme of the Infinityverse Earth. So, in this storyline, Jana is going to become his apprentice, and what happens, I want to have this running joke of Jana trying to state to everyone, no, we are not a couple, he is way too old for me. So I just wanted to hammer that home. But yeah, there's a ton of other relationships out there, and you're probably going to see more, and I may do another update of this video, but yeah. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much all the ships in the Infinityverse, or at least a good chunk of them. If you have any questions, just comment below, and once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse, and I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.